This video is for the Ranch Home Footing and Foundation. So we're going to start with a footprint of the footing, which is 41 feet by 86 feet. So let's grab our rectangle, and we're going to key in 41, apostrophe, comma, space, 86, apostrophe, enter. Let's get our tape measure out and double check, make sure it's right. Let's add our dimensions as we go. Please note that there's an expectation that you will include dimensions in order to get full marks. Instruction says our footing is 1 foot tall. So let's make it 1 foot tall. 1 apostrophe, enter. Okay. It says the floor is 6 inches thick and is inset 1 foot 1 1/4 from the edge. The word inset was used, but we're going to use the tool offset. Okay, 1 foot, 1 space 1 1/4 inches. Okay, and we're going to push that up 6 inches. Okay. Okay, let's add the dimension. Okay. Now, it's not mandatory to use tags for this assignment. If you choose not to include the usage of tags, you will not lose marks. But from an organizational point of view, there is an advantage to using them. So I would suggest you do, but once again, if you don't, you will not incur a mark loss, okay? So I'm going to go footing dimensions. Put those in the tag. And there we go. And I'm going to turn it off. And there's our footing with the floor. Let's just go. Okay, put that in the tag. Okay. Now from there, we're going to make our foundation. So it says the foundation is inset 6 inches from the edge, the outside edge. It's 8 feet high, and it'll be 7 1/4 thick. So let's grab our offset tool and click on that outside edge. Click, bring it in, do not click again, type in 6 quotation marks. And let's just double check this. And so that is 7 1/4 if you look at the bottom right hand corner. And if we go from here, that bottom right hand corner says it's 6 inches. Perfect. So let's make this. Oops. Let's see. Click. 8 feet. Okay. Make that 8 feet tall. Yes. Perfect. Okay. So we've got our basic foundation. Now we're going to do our first window. And the first window is located. We're going to start from this corner. Now, in big bold letters, it says, please see the last page for the map of window locations and orientation. So please scroll down to the bottom to the last page and you will see a map. Okay, so this is the front, this is the back, that's the left, that's the right. Window 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The window locations are symmetrical. So that means the location in the front and back will be the same, and left and right locations will be the same as well. Okay, so let's cruise back up. Let's see. Okay, there's a reminder to go to the map. So our first window is located 10 feet from the edge, and the window is 3 by 3. All windows in this basement will be 3 feet by 3 feet. Okay? So before I get too far, I'm going to add some texture as asphalt and use the concrete form on the walls. And on the top, I think I'll use finish. Okay. And okay, so let's get working on our windows. So first things first, let's go from here over. I'm going to key in 10 feet. And there's my mark. And let's go, let's make another mark actually. So 3 feet. So let's go. So going down, that line is blue. If you want to make sure that your line is straight, you're going to go blue and key in 3 feet. And then we can go grab, oops, it did not take. So let's just try that again. With our pencil. 3 feet. Oops. It's getting a little crazy on me. 3 feet. Enter. Okay, so guide point to the corner. And just to make sure that we didn't, there's 3 feet and there's 3 feet. Perfect. Okay. Now to save us the trouble of kind of having to relay out everything, what we could do is just draw a temporary line over here. Let's see. So red is that direction. Okay. And do the same thing here. Click. And we'll just get rid of that. And we're going to erase that line later. Or what we could do is we could just do this. And then we could push that down 3 feet. Just like so. And erase that line. Okay. Now we'll do our second window. Our second window is located window 2, which is the middle of the front or the middle of the back as well. And it starts 28 feet, 2 5/16 inches from the previous window. The window is 3 feet by 3 feet as they all are, okay? So 28, 2 5/16. So let's get our tape measure. And 28 apostrophe space 2 space 5/16 quotation mark, enter. Okay. And let's go there and key in 3 feet. Okay, we can do it from the top. We can do it from the front. There's more than one way to do it. Double check that. 3 feet, okay. 3 feet. Okay, wonderful. Now, before we get on to window number 3, which is located 10 feet from the other edge, so symmetrical, we're going to do the same thing we did with window number 1. We're going to go to the edge, and we're going to go to the edge. So this time I'm just going to stop here, go like this. And let's erase this line, that line. Let's go down 3 feet. Enter, okay. Now, as outlined in the instructions, window number 3 is going to be 10 feet from that edge. It's from the far edge. So just don't start from here. Make sure you start from here. Okay. Let's go here to here. Type in 10. Okay. And we'll go 3 feet. Okay. And we'll go from here. If you want, you can go over here already. There's your red line. Okay. Okay, let's get rid of our unwanted stuff. And go from there to there. Clean it up a little. And we're going to go down 3 feet. And we're going to go down 3. I'm actually just going to touch this one. So that's 3 feet. Okay. Let's continue. Past the blank page. And the window on the left and the right is going to be 5 feet. And it's 5 feet from both edges. And it's 3 by 3. So let's just go over here. And we're going to go 5 feet. If you want to do them both at the same time, you can do that. Go 3 feet. And 3 feet. Okay. And go to the end. And we'll do the same thing here. Okay, we'll just close these up. Like this. Okay. And let's push this down 3 feet. And just touch that one. And if you want, you can do the same thing here. And touch that one. And touch this one. And click. Now let's tidy up the stuff we don't need. Okay. And there we go. Oops, we got a little leftovers there. That's okay. Okay. Now let's add our dimensions to the foundation. We're going to only dimension one window because they're typical or they're all the same. So 3 feet by 3 feet. Okay, we'll do like so. We're also not going to double up our dimensions. So we're only going to do the front, as the back is the same, and we'll only do the left, as the right is the same. Okay, do length and width, and there we are. Okay, and if you like, we could even give the thickness here. There we go. That's 7¼ Okay, now let's get our materials out of the way, and let's go. We'll go foundation. Okay, and then we'll go foundation dimensions. Let's turn off our tag for the dimensions. Okay, I'm gonna add that. Click. And enter information. It's going to be added to the foundation dimensions. Next up, we're going to do the pocket for the I-beam. So we're going to check our instructions. It says the I-beam pocket is 19 foot 1 inch from the inside corner edge. Now, truth be known, this thing's in direct center, so if you wanted, you could go off the center, but we're going to go 19 feet 1 inch from the edge. Actually, it doesn't matter what edge, it is centered, so we're first going to lay that out. So let's go over here, and let's get our tape measure out, and we're going to go 19 feet, space 1 inch. Okay, and it says the dimensions are, now if you can't see that, let's just zoom in there. Okay, so it's going to be 3 5/8 in, so let's just take care of that. Get our pencil, and okay, 3 5/8, and it's going to be 6 11/16 down. Okay, 6 11/16 down. Okay, and 7.5 across. We can go from here or down there. So 7 1/2 across, and we can go up here. We could do this, and we could, let's see, come down to here. Okay, and then what we could do is we could just take this location and go directly over here and do the same thing. And there we are. Now we're going to go back and just double check that's 3 5/8. So let's go 3 5/8. Okay, we'll create the rectangle there and get rid of this line and that line as well. And it is 6 11/16 down. So we could just do this. 6 11/16 down. There we go. These are symmetrical. So if you want, you can dimension just one. Like so. And then we will add the dimensions to the foundation dimension tag. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now it's worth noting the original tag that I created, footing and floor, when we used the offset to pull these walls up, um, the wire frame is not going to be included, but the walls will be included in footing and floor tag. So just to make life easier, what you could do is you could just create an additional tag. We'll call that floor. And then we'll just go here and we'll put the floor in the floor tag. And what's going to happen is, now let's see. So footing and floor. So now you'll just see the floor. I had a little bit of behind the scenes stuff where I clicked on all the stuff to try and get all the walls and separate, but I don't want to see you go through all that trouble. So just include the footing and the foundation in one tag. That'll make life easier. And we can just keep the floor because we're going to be building walls here. And that's it.